Hello, hello. I'm live. Am I? Let me just check. I should. Give me a minute. I'll just check if I'm live right now or not. Hi, you guys. You guys gonna have to wait a minute. I simply need to check if I'm live. Well, looks like I am. Okay. Let's make use of this situation that we're in. What am I saying? Let's come on. I'm still not used to doing this whole live thing, as you can see. But hi, hello. We are talking about the most recurring character in a string today. And yeah, as usual, let me take you to my screen. Now, I hope you can see my screen. I'll just verify by running the terminal here. And I'll bring it here and see if you can see my screen. You can see the terminal. It's a bit too small, I know that. I'll make it bigger for all of you to see. And yeah. So can you see this now? Okay. Let's go here. Okay, so this is the terminal. I've opened it again, and I'll take you to my directory where I save all my projects, which is udev. And let me take you in the directory where I've been doing this till now, where I've been saving all my code till now. Okay, let's open this in VS Code. There it is. Is it too small? It is too small. Let me make it bigger. So the last time we were talking about reversing a string. This time we are going to talk about the most recurring character in a string. It's a relatively simple problem, but it's definitely from now on we are going to pick up the pace and pick up the difficulty in the questions that we solve. Okay, so as usual, let's first make a file for it. Let's call it most recurring character.js. Okay. And in this, now let me write down the question that we are solving today, which is okay. Yeah, I just realized I've not been recording this, but anyway. Okay. So if the string is my name, which is Batra, the most recurring character is, come on, character is A with 4 occurrences. This is what the question is. Come on. Okay, the key came off in my keyboard. Anyway, this is what the question is. So let's start solving it. Let's simply start solving it. Let string is equal to Sarthak Batra. Again, my name is Sarthak Batra. And I'm gonna disregard the suggestions that it is throwing. And I'm gonna simply start explaining the question to you and explaining the solution to you. So, const. Before actually we do that, let's talk about it, right? So, okay, let's simply start writing a function. You know, let's start exploring the solution of how we're going to talk about it. And I'm getting irritated by this. No, don't always show to var. Nah, come on. Okay, so the way we solve it is, so I'm thinking we run a for off loop in this. For off loop, if you don't know, can be run on iterables like arrays, strings, and I'm not making this up. This is coming from straight from MDN. So Mozilla Developer Network. This is where this is coming from. And I'd like you to go there, explore it for yourself. But I'm thinking of running this through a for off loop. So let's actually do that. Let's do a for off loop, const character of object. We don't have an object yet. So essentially what we need to make that comparison is to have an object container, which is for now empty, but it's going to be something like, the letter S occurs once, then the letter A occurs 4 times, in fact, and the letter R occurs twice, so on and so forth. But for now, it's an empty container. It's just a container, right? Right now, I'm also initializing 2 more variables, and let me show you what they are. Let's call this maximum character, which I know is going to be A in my name, and var max count, which for now let's initialize it to 0. Okay, so let's do this. Const char and object container, and for the purposes of demonstration, let's just log this out and see what it gives us. And we'll talk about how to bring it in that final state that we want it to. So let me give it node most recurring char, and I've made a mistake, which is object container is not iterable. String. Sorry. String is iterable, as we were talking about. But yeah, we make mistakes. All developers do. The idea is not to hide these mistakes. The idea is to show you my line of thought, how I arrived at the solution. So yes, this is what we gave in. This is in fact the input we gave in Sarthak Batra. It has broken it down into each character, giving me the confirmation that yes, string is an iterable, we can iterate over using the for off loop. Now I need to fill that object container. Okay, and let's not look at it. In fact, whatever this is saying, I'm going to do the opposite of it. So let's talk about object container at so S1, the occurrence of capital S is once, right? So let's write it down this way. If object container at car, if it exists, if it is already there, I mean, S is already 1 and S occurs again. We wanted to increase it by 1, right? So So for example, it will be object container at car plus plus health. We simply want to assign it one. If it's not present, we want to assign it one. That's what it is. And now let me log this out. And see what we arrive at. This is what we were looking for. This is the object that we were looking for, right? So we have capital S, which occurs once, small a occurs 4 times, R occurs twice, T occurs twice, H occurs once, so on and so forth. Okay, now we have to return this. This is the maximum character in the given string. Okay, so I'm going to talk about another for loop. And this time I'm going to do a for in loop. In iterates over the index or the key of the object. Right, let's get rid of everything here. And let's simply talk about, let's call it, let's keep the naming consistent. Let's call it car of, this time we are iterating over this object container. Okay. And so if you're doing it this way, we have to talk about if now. Now this is where I'm going to use this. Now I'm assuming that all the characters which do not occur have a max count of 0. Assuming that there is a character, right, which is present in the object container, its max count has to be 1, at least 1, right? And when it is 1, it is greater than 0 on its own. So 1 is greater than 0, right? So if S occurs in the object container, that means the count is 1. That means it is greater than 0. In that case, we are going to assign that whatever value we have to max count at that point in time. So what I'm trying to say is if object container at car, oh, come on. Yeah, so essentially this is what I was saying, right? So if object container at car, this will return a number to you. So for the first iteration, it will be this number, S, and max count right now is 0. So if object container at car is greater than 0, I want to assign max car at car, which is S is equal to 1, and max count as object container at car, which is 1, this. In the next iteration, when we go over to A, now we know that the max count currently is 1, right? And for object container at car, which is in the next iteration, it is this. Object container at A, the max count is less than 4. It will be 4 here and max count here, which is at that point of time, it is 1, right? What happens then? Well, it gets replaced. Max car becomes car, max count becomes object container at car. So this is what we get. And since there is no other element, no other character with a greater number than A, this will remain the answer. Okay. And let me show you here. Max count that's not what I want. If I do this and I run it, do we have any other console logs? Let's get rid of them for now. Let these be the only console logs that we have in our program right now. And let's run it. Max count is 4, max character is A. Now, as an exercise which I leave to you for now, because I'm gonna go ahead and do that exercise right now with you. Is A, I want to condense this into a single for loop, into a single iterator. Can you do that for me? B, let's see if we can put this if else and make this into a single line. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna give it a minute. I'm gonna go on a pause, and when I come back, let's solve this. This is going to be a 2 to 3 minute pause. I'm just gonna go and have some, gonna hydrate, have some water. When I come back, let's solve this. Hey, we're back, and I hope this is I'm just gonna go right back into this. I'll take you back to my screen, which is here, and I hope you've solved this by now. We're gonna condense this down into a single function with a single for loop. Let's do this now. So while we have our answer, that's not a runnable function. Let's make it into a runnable function. Let's do const most recurring character, which takes a string, okay, and str, right? So I'll take this for loop from here, cut it, paste it here, just making sure the formatting remains consistent. String, do we have any other strings? No. New. Okay, and right, so within this for loop, let's see what happens if I cut this part out, because we're still iterating over the same string. And this for me should work. And now let's just make sure that we have everything in order. I'll use them inside this. Let's keep them outside. Yeah. Let's get rid of them for now. Let's get rid of this. And let's call the function. The simplest way to do is to call the function. So, most recurring car with Sarthak Batra. It's not returning anything right now. Let's talk about this. Let's just see if we have, first of all, let's just see if we have any errors coming up or not. No errors. That's a good thing. Okay. So at the end, we want to return the max car and max count. Return max car, max count. When we call this, const result, and let's log that result. Okay, the moment of truth has arrived. Let's see if this still works in a manner that is expected. It is. Okay. What I'll do is I will bring them inside. I'm just making sure I'm consistent with my styling and my logic. Okay, I've brought them inside. This should still work as it was. Yes, it is. So now I can destructure it. What I can do is I can do a. Oh, come on, why is it not working? Max car max count. Okay. So now I can simply write the most recurring character which was coming. Okay. The most recurring character is max car with max count occurrences. Okay, and if we do this, the most recurring character is A with this. Let me put this under double strings so that we can see it better in the console log. Let's run it again. The most recurring character is A. I've not saved it. Okay. The most recurring character is A with 4 occurrences, and that's the solution for all of you. Okay. I keep messing up. I'm still learning the trade, but I hope you liked today's session. It was well. We are ramping up the difficulties of the questions of the questions that you are facing. As simple as that. Questions that I am writing down for you the solutions for, and we're gonna keep ramping up the difficulty from here on out. Last week was Grand Prix week, and then there was Holi, so it was it was a reasonable off for me. Grand Prix weekend and Holi. Who works in those times? But before I forget, again, and since I'm too new to this, I keep coming back to things. There isn't a set pipeline for me, but I'd like to commit this to this uh, to the repository that I have online. Okay. So, and let's just do this, and let this generate a commit message. Let's not worry about it too much right now. Great. Most recurring character committed. Sync changes. And it's taking a while to sync those changes. It's taking its sweet time. It is synced. So if I go to Firefox right now and have a look at it, I should be able to see it there. Let's go to the repository and look at this CSA in JS. And most recurring character is here. Great. And I'm sorry, but yeah, that is it. That is the stream for today. I really hope you liked today's stream. I'm gonna come back with more interesting questions sooner. Difficult, yes, but we'll go over them like we did today. And hopefully by the end of it, you have more confidence in solving them. So yeah, bye.